All right, welcome to our third and final installment of hashtag Millelacsvotes TV. I'm here with a couple folks that are running for Onamia School Board. I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Make sure you get out and vote next Tuesday. These are a couple folks that are going to be in the ballot. We're going to start out, ladies, first with Becky Clitso-Garcia. If you could just tell us a couple things about yourself and why you are running for school board in the city of Onamia.
Sure. Good morning. As Jamie has stated, my name is Rebecca Clitso-Garcia, but I go by Becky. I suppose I should introduce myself the proper native way and say Yad she Rebecca Yinche Twitch eating in Schlingo, but Adi Bashes Chin, no da dene, Ashiha Ada Shachedo, Ashiha Ada Chanela. And what I said in Navajo, I belong to the Navajo tribe, is I said greetings, and I introduced my mother's clan, which is Bitterwater, and my father's clan is Folded Arms. My maternal grandfather is the Ute Salt clan, and then my paternal grandfather is of the Salt clan. And the reason that I'm running for Onamia School Board is because I believe that I have a voice to represent, people that I believe that there should be someone at the seat who looks like the people within the community. And with that said, I believe in diversity. I believe in being well-rounded and also just representing Native people.
All right, thank you, Miigwech Becky, for sharing. Virgil, our new district rep from the D1 community. So you're going to be wearing a couple hats here. Same question to you, Virgil. Just briefly, a little bit about yourself and why you're running for school board in Onamia.
All right, first off, hello, my name is Virgil Wind. As you said, I'm the newly elected district rep here for District 1. It's been exciting. We're a couple months in and very excited to see what we can do there. I am the father of 5 kids, 4 that attended Onamia schools. I have been with my wonderful forever fiance for going on 18 years now. The new position in the band, here we are, what can we mesh, what can we do to bring communities together is kind of my thing. Little background, I've been a contractor my whole life, always dealing in people, always dealing in money, always dealing in budgets. Just orchestrating things, and this is kind of a great fit. The reason that I'm running is I believe that the people and the communities that I live in, I feel an extreme debt of gratitude for that. I feel like I need to give back. People, I'm at my community in the school district in Onamia, really, even when I didn't believe in myself, believed in me and kind of uplifted me throughout the course of my life when things were down and when times were tough. They said, Virgil, you know what, you can be better. And I believe in giving back. And then also one of the big things is bridging communities and bringing people together. That would be one of my main goals.
All right, so you've served on the school board now for a little while, so you decided that you're going to keep serving the community, and now again wearing multiple hats because of your role with the band. So I know the community applauds you and for taking on both of those efforts at the same time. So that's a good segue, and this is probably a little bit of the reason why you decided to run again. And you're going to be going into which term on the school board for you now, Virgil?
I was brought in as an interim to fill a term, and then this would be, I'm on my first full term, and this would be my 3rd kind of seat on the board. So I was interim my first year and a half.
Okay. So you're a pro. So with that, that's a good segue into my second question is, what is the biggest priority or the most important priority for you, your priority as you come into another term, if you're elected, re-elected to the board, Virgil?
I think one of the biggest things for me is really bridging that community. I mentioned it in a prior question, but bridging that community, and by that I mean our kids, you know, have to balance both worlds, right? We have our world and our life here on the reservation, and then we have the rest of the world, and our kids really have to balance that. And being in a public school, you know, what can we do to help them feel more comfortable? What can we do to get rid of this us and them and make it we? I think that's the most important part is, you know, we're all in this together. You know, one thing that we sell at Onamia Schools is Panther family, right? So no matter what, no matter who, we're together in this. And we make decisions based on that. One of the stories I like to tell is, and this could get a little lengthy, but my daughter, when she first started school, she had a little girl. She was a little girl. She had 3 friends, right? It was Emma, Bella, and Lily. And her whole kindergarten year, Emma, Bella, and Lily, you know, little girls come home and they talk, and Emma and Bella and da 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 da, right? Emma's mine and Bella. Well, anyway, halfway through their kindergarten year, all of a sudden, we realized, you know, we don't know who these girls are. We know their names, we know of them, we know what they, you know. Anyway, we went to a conference, and all of a sudden we met Bella and Lily. And it was the cutest thing. So we had my little native, long-haired native girl. We had Bella, who was an African-American girl. And we had Lily, who was a blue-eyed, blonde-haired little girl. And by their stories and the way that they interacted and the things that they did, you couldn't tell who they were. You didn't care who their last name was. And the magic of that is really something that I really take a lot of pride in that we're building towards. You know what I mean? Just that whole, you know, we're together, right? This is us. This is where we're going to go. This is what we decide to be. And the magic of them 3 little girls being so tight. And even to this day, they're really the best of friends.
Very, very good. So this is a question, well, I'll ask the same question to you, Becky, but I want to clarify. So on the ballot, are you going to be listed as Becky or Rebecca? Because that'll be important to voters.
I actually have Becky in quotes, and then I have Rebecca Clitso-Garcia is how
Got you.
it's out. So.
All right, so it'll be a little bit of both. So let me ask you the second question. So you got some background and experience, I think, from a family perspective, and you have children as well that are in the Onamia schools, or no?
Actually, no, I don't. Well, I suppose I do in a sense. Well, I've worked for Millelacs Early Education for 14 years. I worked as an assistant teacher and then a lead teacher and as education specialists, working directly with the teachers and coaching them to become better. And then most recently, I am actually the intern director for Millelacs Early Education. So with that, I've seen, you know, band children grow. I think you know, coming here 14 years ago, working for the band, I've seen a lot of, you know, band children come and leave our program and, you know, go to either the Millelacs or to Onamia School District. And with that said, I have my nieces. I have 3 nieces who are band members, and they go to school or did go to school at Onamia. I actually just have one currently enrolled at Onamia in the distant learning program. And I have a nephew that's also doing distant learning. I don't have any children of my own, but you know, just looking back at all of the kids that I taught, and then also just, you know, working with the teachers and being in the classrooms and just seeing them in the community, you know, I consider them, you know, my kids as well. just seeing them. And it's so awesome seeing kids that, did leave the early ed program out in the community, because they still see you as like, rock star and Becky. And it's, just that feeling, just feeling that love from them. And what was your question again?
No, that's all right. The question was, and that's great to bring the experience that you have. And we do have, we have band member children who sometimes move from Nayashi to Onamia, sometimes Io, other schools. So having that experience with several of the schools in the area that serve band member children is a great thing. And then having the educational background is also a great thing. So with that background, the question I'd ask Virgil, that I'll ask you, is, do you have a priority issue that you'd like to work on if you're elected to the school board?
Well, I just think, that representation is really important, especially in the decision-making process and being on the school board. And it just makes me think of, the cartoon of the three people trying to push a cart up the hill, and the wheels on the cart are square. And the person in the back has the wheels that are circle. And just, the person in the back asking the two people at the cart, hey, I can help you. And, having that representation of, the different perspective of having that wheel and saying, hey, I can help you, but the other people not necessarily accepting that help, or not even just seeing out of their own paradigm and, seeing what else is out there. I think just having someone that is different, that has a different perspective in life, not only will make Onamia Public School a lot better, it'll just open up, different ideas and different communications. And I just think that, again, representation is important.
All right, thank you for sharing that with us. So Virgil, so we're living in a really crazy time. We talked about this a little earlier before we started our recording today. We're living in a pandemic era, and I think, Becky, you mentioned this. Social distancing, of course, and distance learning is now being employed in school districts, and here in Minnesota, statewide, and on the reservation, and with some of the local schools, we have this ebb and a flow, which I'm sure is very challenging for students to try to, are you gonna be in class, or are you gonna be doing some things via Zoom like we're doing right now? This is our new normal. Outside of these challenges that we're facing in terms of having to do our work remotely, what are some of the other challenges you think are going to be facing these youth as they move forward, or opportunities as a result of what we've experienced with the pandemic?
Is that for me?
Yeah, Virgil, if you wouldn't mind taking that one on. I know that wasn't on my list of questions, but I figured, we're living in such a unique opportunity. I'm wondering if you folks have some perspective on that.
Excuse me. All right. Well, some of the other challenges that I think we have within the four walls of Onamia Public Schools is that's unique to the rest of the world, or at least in our little community here, is number one, poverty. We have a extreme amount of poverty in our district, to the tune of 75%. Another challenge that we have in the district is our special ed is 35%, which is 3 times the amount of anywhere else in the state. And really knowing what we can do. One of the biggest challenges is knowing what we can do to leverage all the money and all the resources and all the, in this new role, the partnership that we can have to enhance the education across, right? And know that if we make one group better, the other group in turn gets better. And if we can do that and bring everybody together and partner to provide a better education for every single kid that we have, we're going to be in better shape. Again, it's about leveraging resources and partnerships and social capital to try to, you know, better the family, you know, better the Panther family if we can.
I like that. I like bettering the Panther family, leveling the playing field, and so those are great comments. Virgil, can I ask you the same question, Becky? I know you've been kind of watching this from a distance, and now you're jumping in, ready to do the work that you're already doing and bringing some of that knowledge possibly to the school board. Are there any thoughts that you have about some of the challenges that students are facing in this particular reality or time as we're battling this pandemic?
I think right now what I'm thinking of that could be challenging for families is just having, the resources to do what other families might be able to do freely without worry. For example, the access of internet, access of having a, tablet or Chromebook or, those kind of resources that, one person may have and another person may not. And just thinking of how, is it readily available for everybody or is there a wait list? And also, just thinking about the program that I work for now, Mille Early Education, just thinking about, their distant learning and then thinking about the families as far as them do they have the resources to, to participate in the distant learning? And then also, reaching out and, asking that question, do you have the resources? And if you don't, what can we do? What can we do to help you with that? So that's just my biggest concern, or, one of the biggest concerns other than, representation, is just having that, the equity within the school system, and just making sure that people have access to what they need.
Well, definitely, Chief Miigwech, to both of you for taking on this very important responsibility of ensuring that our students, band member students, and others, as you mentioned, Virgil, it's a Panther family, that folks have what they need, and poverty is not a barrier to a good quality education. So now I'm going to give you one chance to ask a really important question. That's for folks to vote for you. You always got to make the ask when you're running. That's in the world of electoral politics, which I've been paying attention to for some years now on behalf of the band. It's always important to ask for the vote. So Becky, I'm going to give you the opportunity first to ask those band members and other residents of Onamia to cast their vote for yourself.
Sure. Well, again, my name is Becky Rebecca Clitso-Garcia, and I'm running for Onamia Public School Board, and I would appreciate your vote. I believe that I have a perspective. I also believe in diversity and equality and also equity. And I think that it's important to get a different perspective. And then in addition to that, I believe in, education, being an early childhood educator for 14 years. So I would appreciate your vote.
All right, Virgil, you've been asking for votes. You've kind of become pretty good at this over the last, 6 years, right? And now recently in your election to District Rep Mille, but this is a different race, and this will be a part of the general election ballot for 2020. And anyway, this is your opportunity to ask voters for their vote.
All right. Well, no matter how many times you ask, it is awkward, right? So here, Virgil Wind, running for school board here again. Just
Asking for your vote. The name on the ballot's Virgil Wind. You guys will like seeing that there. I've always hated that my whole life. One of the things, that we have going forward in these weird COVID times is, safety. We're going to always make the best decisions for all when it comes to safety and keeping kids safe. We've done a lot of great work. We've brought a lot of people together. We've really enhanced the confidence of our students across the board in the Panther family. We've really brought people together and communities together, and I want to continue doing that with your support, with your vote, a little check mark that could really have huge outcome in the next 4 years. We can continue to grow what we've already got, right? So let's finish that out. Let's finish out how to, stay together and become a family. Go Panthers.
All right. Well, hey, Chimigwich to you both for joining today. And again, remember to get out and vote on November 3rd. And you can also vote any day between now and then. Early voting is open and available in Minnesota. So Chimigwich, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.